Today we're going to talk about something powerful, something that could change your life. How do you destroy your enemy without ever laying a hand on them? How do you win the greatest battles of your life without ever stepping onto the battlefield? This is not a conversation about cowardice or weakness. It's about strength, wisdom, and the art of mastering your mind. In a world that often tells us to fight, to retaliate, and to seek revenge, I want to share a secret with you, a truth that only the strongest understand. The best way to destroy your enemy is not to fight them. It's to rise above them, to outthink them, and to grow so powerful in your own right that their negativity, hatred, hatred, and envy no longer matter. So buckle up. This is not just a motivational talk, it's a game plan for life. And by the end of this, you will understand why the strongest victories happen in the mind, not on the battlefield. 1. Master your emotions, or emotions, the art of self-control. The first and most important step in destroying your enemy without fighting them is to master your emotions. Your enemy wants one thing from you. They want to see you react. They want you to get angry, to lose control, to make a mistake. The moment you let your emotions get the better of you, you've already lost. Think about it. How many times have you reacted in anger only to regret it later? How many times have you let someone else's words or actions dictate your emotional state? When you lose control of your emotions, you hand over your power to your enemy. You allow them to control not just the situation, but also you. But here's the good news: you have the power to take control back. Mastering your emotions means understanding that not every situation deserves a reaction. It means knowing that your peace of mind is more valuable than winning an argument or proving a point. When you stay calm in the face of provocation, you deny your enemy the satisfaction of seeing you break. You rob them of their victory without ever lifting a finger. This isn't easy. It takes practice and discipline to master your emotions, especially in situations where you feel attacked or disrespected. But the reward is worth it. When you learn to control your emotions, you become untouchable. Your enemy will throw everything they have at you, but nothing will stick. Their words, their actions, their attempts to hurt you will fall flat because you've built a wall of emotional strength that no one can penetrate. The first and most essential way to destroy your enemy without ever engaging in combat is to gain mastery over your emotions. Emotions are powerful forces. Anger, fear, jealousy, these are all emotions your enemies want to provoke in you, because when you react emotionally, you lose control. But imagine a scenario where no matter what your enemy throws at you, no matter how much they try to get under your skin, you remain calm, collected, and composed. Can you see how powerless they would feel? Mastering your emotions is not about suppressing how you feel. It's about understanding those emotions, processing them, and not allowing them to dictate your actions. Your enemy thrives on your emotional reactions because they are predictable. If they can predict your responses, they can control you. The person who masters their emotions holds the upper hand because they don't play into the hands of their enemy's provocations. It's natural to feel anger or frustration when someone wrongs you. It's natural to want to retaliate when someone disrespects you. But what takes true strength is pausing, taking a deep breath, and deciding not to let those emotions drive you. In that moment, you've already won. You've destroyed your enemy by denying them the satisfaction of seeing you crumble. Think about it. There is nothing more frustrating to an enemy than someone who refuses to engage in the emotional warfare they've set up. So how do you master your emotions? Start by recognizing your triggers. Be aware of the situations or people that tend to evoke strong emotional responses in you. And then practice responding, not reacting. Take control of your narrative. When your emotions are in your hands, your enemy can do nothing to harm you because their power lies in your reaction. Master your emotions and you've already defeated them. 2. Silence speaks louder. The power of strategic inaction. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing. In a world that tells us to always act, to always respond, to always fight back, silence can be the greatest weapon. Why? Because silence makes people uncomfortable. It forces them to reflect on their own actions. It leaves them wondering what you're thinking, what you're planning. Silence creates uncertainty, and uncertainty is a powerful tool. When you refuse to engage with your enemy, you take away their power. They expect you to react, to fight back, to get involved in their drama. When you don't, you confuse them. You make them question themselves. And in that confusion, they become their own worst enemy. They start to unravel, not because of anything you did, but because of what you didn't do. Strategic inaction isn't about being passive, it's about being smart. It's about choosing your battles wisely and knowing that not every situation deserves your energy. Sometimes the best way to destroy your enemy is to step back and let them destroy themselves. Your silence forces them to confront their own behavior, and in many cases, their own guilt or insecurity will do more damage than you ever could. So the next time you're tempted to engage, to fight back, to prove a point, pause. Ask yourself, what would happen if I did nothing? What would happen if I let my silence speak for me? You'll be surprised at how powerful doing nothing can be. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is to say nothing at all. In a world that is loud and chaotic, where everyone seems to be shouting to be heard, silence can be the most disarming weapon. Your enemies expect you to react, to defend yourself, to come out fighting. They want to drag you into their arena of conflict. But what if you didn't? What if instead of responding, you chose silence? Silence is powerful because it creates mystery. It leaves your enemy wondering what you're thinking, what you're planning. It forces them to fill in the blanks, often with their own insecurities. When you don't give your enemy the reaction they crave, you maintain control of the situation. Silence can be more unnerving than words because it forces your enemy to confront their own actions without your vowing. Strategic inaction doesn't mean you're weak or passive, it means you're wise. You understand that not every situation requires your input. You recognize that engaging in a pointless conflict drains your energy and gives your enemy a platform. By choosing silence, you rob them of the opportunity to drag you into their negativity. It takes incredible self-discipline to remain silent when every part of you wants to defend yourself or retaliate. But this silence is not about cowardice, it's about strength. It's about showing your enemy that you're so confident, so in control, that their words or actions mean nothing to you. Silence makes you untouchable. Your enemy will find themselves speaking into a void, their words falling flat, their attempts to provoke you futile. And in that silence, you have already won. 3. Rise above the conflict, focus on your own growth. One of the most effective ways to destroy your enemy is to make them irrelevant. How do you do that? By rising so far above the conflict that they can no longer reach you. When you focus on your own growth, on becoming better, stronger, and more successful, you make your enemies small by comparison. Their attempts to bring you down will seem laughable in the face of your success. Think about the most successful people in the world. Do you think they waste time worrying about their enemies? No, they're too busy building their empires, achieving their goals, and living their best lives. That's the mindset you need to adopt. When you focus on your own journey, you leave your enemies behind. They become insignificant, mere footnotes in the story of your life. But this takes effort. It requires you to let go of the need for revenge or validation. It means focusing on what really matters: your growth, your success, your happiness. When you're too busy becoming the best version of yourself, you won't have time to worry about what your enemies are doing. And here's the kicker: when they see you thriving, it will destroy them more than any words or actions ever could. So invest in yourself. Build your skills, chase your dreams, and focus on your future. Let your success be the loudest message you send to your enemies. As you rise, they will fall, not because you fought them, but because you outgrew them. One of the most powerful ways to defeat your enemy is to make them irrelevant. How do you do that? By focusing on your growth, your success, your happiness, your evolution. When you shift your focus from the conflict at hand to your personal journey, your enemy becomes smaller. Their actions no longer matter because you are too busy building your future to be distracted by their negativity. Imagine this: while your enemy is focused on you, trying to bring you down, you're focused on yourself. You're growing stronger, learning new skills, achieving your goals, and becoming a better version of yourself. Your enemy remains stagnant, stuck in their desire to see you fail while you rise higher and higher. This is the ultimate form of victory. You don't need to fight your enemy, because by the time they realize what's happening, you've already outgrown them. They are left behind, consumed by their own bitterness and jealousy, while you continue to thrive. Focusing on your own growth doesn't mean ignoring the challenges your enemy presents. It means putting those challenges into perspective. When you prioritize your personal development over the conflict, you win by default. Your enemy is left to watch as you soar to new heights, powerless to stop you. And that's the most effective way to destroy your enemy: by becoming so great, so successful, that their efforts to bring you down are laughable. 4. Kindness as a weapon, the power of unexpected compassion. There's a quote that says, "Kill them with kindness." And while it might sound cliche, it holds a profound truth. Kindness is one of the most powerful weapons you can use against your enemies. Why? Because it's unexpected. Your enemy wants to see you angry, bitter, or hateful. When you respond with kindness instead, you throw them off balance. Kindness disarms your enemy. It forces them to confront the fact that their negativity hasn't affected you. It shows them that no matter what they say or do, you're too strong, too compassionate, too secure in yourself to be brought down to their level. And that realization that their hate has no power over you can be devastating. But kindness doesn't just benefit you, it also has the power to transform your enemy. When you respond to hate with love, you plant a seed. You show them that there's a better way, that conflict isn't necessary, that peace is possible. It might not happen overnight, but over time, your kindness can soften even the hardest hearts. This doesn't mean letting people walk all over you or tolerating abuse. It means choosing to respond from a place of strength and compassion rather than anger or fear. Kindness is not weakness. It's the ultimate display of emotional intelligence and control. And in many cases, it's the most effective way to destroy your enemy without ever lifting a finger. There's something incredibly disarming about kindness. When you respond to hatred with love, to cruelty with compassion, you leave your enemy speechless. They expect anger, retaliation, and bitterness. But when you show kindness, you flip the script. Kindness is a weapon that confuses your enemy because they don't know how to respond to it. Kindness is not weakness. In fact, it requires far more strength to be kind in the face of hostility than to react with aggression. When you choose kindness, you are saying, I refuse to be brought down to your level. I refuse to let your negativity affect me. In that moment, you've already destroyed your enemy. You've shown them that their actions have no power over you. But kindness doesn't just affect your enemy, it affects you as well. When you choose to be kind, you free yourself from the toxic emotions that can eat away at your peace of mind. You let go of anger, resentment, and bitterness, and in doing so, you heal yourself. And in that healing, you become stronger than your enemy ever anticipated. Kindness can transform even the most hostile situations. It doesn't mean you have to tolerate abuse or mistreatment, but it does mean choosing a higher path. When you respond with kindness, you leave a lasting impact on your enemy, one that forces them to reconsider their actions, one that may even plant the seeds of change in their heart. And in that, you've already won the battle. 5. Detachment, the power of letting go. One of the hardest lessons in life is learning to let go, letting go of people, letting go of situations, and most importantly, letting go of the need for revenge or validation. Detachment is a powerful tool in destroying your enemy without fighting them because it removes their ability to affect you. When you detach, you stop giving them the power to control your emotions or actions. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you stop allowing someone else's behavior to dictate your happiness or peace of mind. You acknowledge that their actions are a reflection of them, not you. You realize that holding on to anger or resentment only harms you, not them. When you detach, you become free. You free yourself from the mental and emotional chains that your enemy has tried to place on you. You take back control of your own happiness, your own peace, and your own life. And in doing so, you destroy your enemy not by fighting them, but by refusing to let them live rent-free in your mind. This process of detachment takes time, but once you master it, you will feel an immense sense of liberation. Your enemy's words, actions, and attempts to bring you down will no longer affect you. They will become irrelevant, powerless, and insignificant in the grand scheme of your life. And that, my friends, is the ultimate victory. There's a profound power in detachment when you let go of the need for revenge, validation, or even the need to win. You find true freedom. Detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop letting the actions of others control your happiness or peace of mind. You stop letting your enemy live rent-free in your head. Your enemy wants you to be obsessed with them. They want to occupy your thoughts, your energy, your time. But when you detach, you take that power back. You acknowledge that their actions are a reflection of them, not you. You understand that holding on to anger or resentment only harms you, not them. Detachment allows you to move forward with your life, free from the chains of conflict. Your enemy may continue to try and provoke you, but you won't care. You've let go. And in doing so, you've destroyed them not by fighting them, but by refusing to let them control your mind. When you detach, you give yourself the greatest gift of all, peace. Your enemy may still be fighting a battle, but you've already walked away. You've won, not because you destroyed them, but because you freed yourself from the need to. And that is the ultimate victory. 6. The best revenge is success. They say the best revenge is success, and there's no greater truth than this. When you succeed in life, when you achieve your goals, Live your dreams and find happiness. Nothing your enemy does can touch you. Success is the ultimate form of destruction for your enemies because it proves that they were never able to hold you back. Imagine this: while your enemy is busy trying to bring you down, you're focused on building yourself up. While they're consumed with jealousy, hatred, or negativity, you're too busy working on your future. And when you finally reach that point of success, when you've achieved what you set out to do, their efforts to destroy you will seem fatted. Success is the sweetest revenge. When you focus on building your life, achieving your goals, and creating the future you desire, your enemy's efforts to bring you down become insignificant. They may try to sabotage you, they may spread lies or create obstacles, but when you're focused on success, none of that matters. Your success speaks louder than any words or actions your enemy could ever throw at you. It shows them and the world that you are unstoppable. While they are busy plotting your downfall, you're too busy winning. And when you succeed, when you reach the heights you've been striving for, your enemy will be left in the dust, powerless to stop you. Success is not just about material wealth or accomplishments, it's about inner peace, fulfillment, and happiness. When you live your life with purpose and passion, when you achieve your dreams and find true joy, your enemy becomes irrelevant. Their hatred, jealousy, and negativity can't touch you because you're too focused on your own path. Let your success be the ultimate message to your enemies. Let it show them that no matter what they do, they cannot stop you from achieving greatness. And in that success, you've already destroyed them. 7. Understanding the enemy, empathy as a weapon. One of the most powerful ways to destroy your enemy is to understand them. When you take the time to look beyond their actions and try to understand why they behave the way they do, you gain insight into their weaknesses. Empathy is not about excusing their behavior, it's about recognizing that their hostility often comes from a place of pain, insecurity, or fear. When you understand your enemy, you take away their power to hurt you. You see them for what they are: human beings who are struggling with their own inner battles. And when you understand that, their actions lose their sting. You stop taking their behavior personally because you realize that it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. Empathy allows you to approach your enemy from a place of strength, not weakness. It doesn't mean you tolerate mistreatment, but it does mean you stop allowing their actions to control your emotions. When you understand your enemy, you no longer fear them, and in that moment, you've already won. 8. Patience, the power of waiting. Patience is a virtue that many underestimate. In the heat of conflict, it's easy to want to act quickly, to retaliate, or to end the battle as soon as possible. But sometimes the best way to destroy your enemy is to wait. Time has a way of revealing the truth. Time exposes weaknesses, uncovers lies, and brings justice. Your enemy may seem strong now, but with time, their true nature will reveal itself. If you can be patient, if you can wait for the right moment, you will see that many enemies destroy themselves. Their hatred, their bitterness, and their negativity will eat away at them from the inside. Patience requires strength because it means trusting that things will unfold as they should. It means not rushing into action, but waiting for the right time to make your move, or sometimes waiting and letting time take care of the situation for you. In the end, patience often brings the sweetest victory. 9. Self-improvement, becoming so good they can't touch you. One of the most effective ways to destroy your enemy without fighting them is to improve yourself to the point where their efforts to bring you down no longer matter. When you are constantly growing, evolving, and becoming the best version of yourself, your enemies become irrelevant. Their attempts to harm you, to discredit you, or to hold you back become futile because you are too strong, too confident, and too successful to be affected by their actions. Focus on self-improvement, on your health, your skills, your mindset. When you are at your best, your enemy cannot touch you. By becoming so good that your enemies cannot affect you, you destroy them in the most profound way. You show them that no matter what they do, you will continue to rise. And in that rising, you've already won. 10. Forgiveness, the ultimate weapon. Forgiveness is the most powerful way to destroy your enemy. When you forgive, you free yourself from the chains of anger and resentment. You release the hold that your enemy has over you. Forgiveness is not about condoning their actions, it's about choosing peace over conflict. When you forgive your enemy, you take away their power to hurt you. You stop carrying the burden of their actions on your shoulders. Forgiveness is for you, not for them. It allows you to move forward with your life, free from the negativity that once held you back. In forgiving your enemy, you destroy them not by hurting them, but by healing yourself. You show them that you are too strong, too wise, and too focused on your own happiness to be consumed by their hatred. And in that moment, you've already won. Conclusion, a heartwarming and emotional farewell. The greatest victory is the one that is never fought. At the end of the day, the greatest battles you will ever fight are not with your enemies, but within yourself. The true measure of strength is not in how many people you defeat, but in how many battles you choose to walk away from because you are too focused on your own growth, happiness, and success. Remember this, the most powerful person is the one who needs no battle to prove their worth. The strongest among us are those who refuse to be dragged into conflict, who rise above the noise, and who focus on their own path. So as you leave this moment, remember that your greatest weapon is not your fists, your words, or your anger. Your greatest weapon is your peace of mind, your emotional control, your kindness, your patience, your success, and your forgiveness. These are the tools that will destroy your enemies without ever fighting them. Live your life with purpose, grow with every challenge, and let your success be the message you send to the world. Your enemies may try to bring you down, but you will rise above them every single time. And in the end, it will be your light, not your battles, that will destroy the darkness around you. Go forward with peace in your heart, knowing that you hold the power to win the greatest battles of your life, not by fighting, but by rising above. This is your victory. This is your time. And remember, the greatest enemy you will ever defeat is the one inside of you.